I guess let's start.
Go.
Welcome guys, welcome to District Needs and Budget Committee meeting. I appreciate you guys for coming in today. Do we want to start some ground rules? No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have questions about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand through Zoom. If you click participant icon, the participant panel should appear and you should find the raise hand function there. If you still have technical difficulty, you may click the chat icon and relay your difficulty to the staff. The chat function should not be used for CB11 business or questions about agenda topics. All such remarks should be made on the record by raising your hand through Zoom. Chat only should be used to alert us to any technical difficulties you are having or to state in writing information like an email address that was already stated aloud on the record during the meeting. Please keep your questions and comments succinct. I don't know how to say that word, I'm sorry guys. And germane to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have questions or comment about subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand through Zoom and wait to be recognized. Calling this meeting to order, and we do roll call.
Sure. Committee members, when I call your name, please answer. Present. Stephanie Arroyo.
Present.
John Green. Giselle Malave.
Present.
Malik McCullough. Art Perez.
Present.
Jason Villanueva is excused. Jason Wu.
Present.
Michelle Wiltshire Clement. Dawn Sanders.
Present.
You have quorum.
Awesome. So has everyone received the agenda? Assuming that's a yes. We can do the adoption of agenda. So do we have to take roll call for that?
You do not. As long as there's no objection, you can proceed. You can proceed
Gotcha.
with it.
And there are no objections, correct? I see no hands raised. Adoption of the committee meetings. I don't think anyone's received the minutes, the committee minutes, right?
No, we do not have minutes for last month.
Yeah, because we haven't created that. I'm hoping to get that to you guys soon. So I guess we just skip over that because we can't vote on that. Does anyone have any announcements? I don't see any hands raised.
So I can share just two quick ones. I sent an email to the board membership seeking volunteers, and I thank those that have responded. But I wanted to just announce to folks that are attending today, and again, ask for volunteers from the board membership, that on August 2nd is National Night Out, and our local precincts are hosting their events. The 25th precinct is hosting theirs on 119th Street, and the 23rd precinct, I believe, is holding as it typically does on 106th Street. We're seeking volunteers to help the staff table at both of these events, using that as an opportunity to promote the board and its work, and also to push the budget survey, get more folks to complete that in support of the work of this committee. That's August 2nd. I believe they start at 4. The 25th ends at 9, and the 23rd ends at 8.
Anyone else?
I wanted to ask Angel, did you get my email for volunteering? I just didn't get a response from you, so I was like,
Oh,
I should-
yeah. They've been coming in kind of like all at the same time. But yes, I got that. I think I got Dawn, a couple other folks. But yeah, thank you guys.
okay.
Okay, so that's informational updates. I guess we can move on.
Stephanie, Xavier has his hand up.
Oh, apologies. Go ahead, Xavier.
Hey, thank you. And just to piggyback off of Angel's point, National Night Out is a good opportunity for us as board members to not just connect and invite people to join the board in our work, but also connect with, on a very personal level. I've attended on a regular basis, and it's wonderful to see so many community members come out across the board. And I cannot emphasize enough, it's a way for us to weave into the community further. A lot of people really care, everyone that attends. So so please, if you can volunteer on that Tuesday, please do. You don't have to be there the entire time, but just sign up for a period. I don't know how Angel's going to structure it, but whether it's an hour or the entire time. But again, please sign up and get involved. And also too, on our calendar, you'll see all the events happening this summer from Family Days onward. So please try to show up and just say hi and howdy. Okay.
Beverly?
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can I be heard?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, yes, I'm sorry I'm late, but I also want to know, Angel, if you got my email regarding volunteering for the night out.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you.
Oh, okay. And I'm ready to just listen and work on budget needs, district needs. And that's that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other hands up? All right. Right? No more hands up? I don't see any of my hands. So definitely talking about National Night Out, I think, Angel, you said the 23rd and the 25th. We still don't know where PSA 5 is having theirs, right?
I don't know yet. No, I haven't gotten any information.
Got you. So there's also the PS5 that usually does it near a development, a night to development. So hopefully we get that too, and we all try to be at all these places. This is definitely important for members of this committee. We want to make sure that this is the committee where we are trying to engage the most with the community, because we are the face of the community, asking for district needs and asking for money for the district. So if we're not out in the community, it's hard to qualify our request if we're not out there in the community with our community members doing the work. So definitely try to be out there. Plus it's fun and there's always free food. So why not? I guess we can move on. Did we do staff liaison or do you have to, are we on that one, Angel?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I just have one thing quick to add.
Sure, go ahead now.
So last night I was, Reverend Ayala said that they have some really good sponsors this year. They're gonna have 2 inflatable type things. They're gonna have a lot of fun things. So even though I'm volunteering, you can put me wherever you want, but Reverend Ayala is very excited about the National Night Out that they're doing for the 23rd. So definitely, and he's really gonna be looking for us, so.
Excellent.
I'm just adding on to what you're saying, that it's important to get out whatever we can. People remember it.
No, definitely.
And we have new T-shirts, so everybody can wear their CB11 swag.
How do we get our t-shirts?
Come to the community board office, or I'll have them there so you guys.
So wait, do we go the day of volunteering or?
Look, everybody's all excited about T-shirts. Excited about budget.
Yes, let's get excited about the budget.
We'll have them there to give out at both locations, and of course we'll have.
All right, awesome. Okay, let's move on. So we want to discuss scheduling district budget consultations. So I don't know if we spoke about this last meeting, but basically what we do here in District Needs and Budget is we meet with different agencies to kind of understand what are the needs or how they can provide services to the needs that we have in this district. That helps us request money in regards to how much money we can request, and it also helps us, right, actually advocate better for the money if we understand how they use the money and how the money is flexed in that agency, for no better words, right now. So we would like to kind of have these meetings with the agency and the agency that correlates best to each committee. I believe each of you are vice presidents or are a member of other committees where the idea is for you to come back to this committee and provide us with assistance when we're asking for certain needs and for certain funding. So we want to correlate that also with our agencies and with your committee. So we want to see how you guys are available, if you guys are available to have these meetings with the agency. And I believe Angel can speak better to how we're going to try to coordinate that or when we're going to try to do that. I know we're trying to do that as soon as possible, right? And I'll leave it up to Angel because that's Angel's thing.
All right. Thanks, Steph. So yeah, so we did touch on this a bit last month, and for the last few years in terms of like how the board looks to inform its annual statement, right? So one through what we hear at community board meetings, at our committee meetings, but also like what we hear directly from interacting with the agencies, and that interaction not only happens at committee meetings and at board meetings, but also happens in these budget consultations specifically, right? In the fall, on the borough level with all the district managers, but then in the summer on the district level with our respective committees. And the way that we've done it the last few years is we extend invitations to a series of agencies to come and meet with us and have these budget consultations. And for our side, we're represented by, so the district manager, myself, and then whoever we've assigned as the liaison to your, respective committees. Of course, the chair of each one of those committees or their designated, deputy, whatever, to attend the, the consultations. They're held during the day. So perhaps if, I'll use Dawn as an example, right? So Dawn's the liaison. I mean, Dawn's the vice chair of housing. If John can't make it, then, or they just, it works better with their schedule for Dawn to be there, then Dawn would be there, something like that, right? And then on the agency side, and the board chair is always invited to all meetings. On the agency side, we extend the invitation to their budget staff. That's ideal. That doesn't always work out. When it works out, fantastic. Other times it's their intergovernmental relations person that gets sent, or some other staff. It often works out just fine with that staff, depending on how expert that particular representative is, right? So like, for example, Steve Simon, who's someone you may know from the Department of Parks, has been there 800 years and knows every single inch of the Parks Department. So if he's there, he's not the budget person, but he knows everything. So you're fine with him. You're more than fine with him. In other agencies, it doesn't work out quite that well. But for the most part, we either get a budget person or a very well-informed other person. We try to get borough commissioners where applicable. So like for the Parks Department, we try to get their borough commissioner. For the Department of Transportation, we try to get their borough commissioner. And the point is not just to have a big name in the room, it's just that we want people in the room that can answer questions versus saying, oh, let me get back to you, I have to find out, because that's not helpful, right? Like in that conversation, you want it to be constructive. And what we do, we do a couple of things. One, we try to follow up on and try to get clarification on any pending budget requests that we submitted from the prior year, right? If it landed somewhere short of being completely funded, we're going to have follow-up questions. Why wasn't this funded? Where's the rest of the funding? So we want to do that with, we want to review from each committee the corresponding requests and the ones that require follow-up, right? So that's done in coordination with your committee liaisons and your committee representatives on this committee. And you should be, vice chairs or committee representatives on this should be working with their committee chair specifically, right? Like you all should be an absolute team, right? Like joined at the hip, so that, there are no blind spots in terms of how you're representing the wishes of the committee. So that's the follow-up on the prior year, but there's also forward-looking, right? There may be things in the, most recent adopted budget that aren't reflected or touched on in our budget request that, may require, further inquiry from us, right? So like the Department of Education funding, in the adopted budget, it's gotten a lot of press. Board members may have questions about that, right? Like how does that, how did where you land with the adopted, reflect in, what you do in CB11 particularly, right? You may have questions like that. I'm just picking out questions out of the ether. And then you also, we also want to touch on in that conversation, forward-looking, right? So like we have for example, we have a new idea on something, on a project that, we'd like to be funded. Is this the kind of thing that you all can do? Like, what would it take for you all to fund this? Like starting to have that conversation. So we're checking on last year's, we're finishing off the adopted and other issues that we didn't touch on in our requests, right? Because we don't want to be limited just to following up on our requests. And then we also want to look forward, right? Like we've been seeing a trend in the following, and we believe that we may land on asking for some request, submitting some requests to address needs that we've, that have risen into our consciousness recently or become hot recently, and we wanted to address, right? So that's what that conversation is about. I'll be extending invitations to the agencies. I'll coordinate with the committee chairs and reps, but I'll be extending invitations. If you can make it, fantastic. That's ideal. The questions is where I need the most, assistance, right? Like I have my questions, but I'm not you. So I can always, use a hand, and it's always helpful to be able to capture everybody's, thoughts or suggestions when approaching the agencies, right? I don't want to, ideally, I don't want to have a consultation, no matter how fruitful I think it is, all by myself, then come back with a summary and you're all like, what about this? What about this? Because I may have missed it. So it's better to just at least have the conversation and see if we're on the same page as we're submitting the questions. So I'll extend the invitations tomorrow because we're trying to schedule them for next week or the following week. And then the week after that, like the first week in August, I'm leaving kind of as an emergency one because I know August is really difficult to schedule because folks from agencies disappear or claim to disappear on vacation in August, so it's hard. Plus also Angel wants to disappear. So that's, essentially what the district consultations are. I have found that often they're very fruitful and very helpful, informative at the least. Not always, I'm not going to overpromise, some of them are duds. But DOT is very consistent. The Parks Department is very consistent. HPD last year was excellent, very thorough. Maybe they didn't give us all the answers we wanted to hear, but they responded to the questions, fully for the most part that I can remember. And so on down the line. DYCD is really good. So anyway, that's what the district consultations are about. So we need to coordinate, I left out the chair of this committee. Obviously, he's going to be invited to all the consultations. The givens, I always forget to mention. The committee leadership and the staff liaisons need to, be speaking in the next couple of days to get, in preparation for those consultations. And that's kind of it. That's all I have for that. Unless folks have questions. Hey, Giselle.
Yeah.
My only question is, I find it a little like I don't really understand how we submit a new request. Because let's say, for example, if I feel like there's something that we should advocate for, can I just pass it by the chair? Or is that a decision that the whole committee has to meet and decide on?
Right. So that's all post the consultation, right? So So that's something that members should be discussing with the committee chair, and then figuring out how to get that in front of the committees. So this all happens really quickly in September, so the conversations have to happen real quick, right? So like I haven't, Giselle has an idea for something, she puts it forward to Marissa. Marissa's like, yeah, that makes sense. Get in front of the committee, then the committee talks about it in September, and then we put it on the list. But it has to happen like super fast, right? Like, nothing's stopping you from exchanging emails now to like kind of workshop the idea and get it ready for prime time, prime time being the committee meetings in September, so that the committees are looking at kind of fleshed out ideas. Easier for the committee members to digest, especially when they're seeing it fresh, versus like, two words, like, more of this. And then that's hard to kind of digest versus like, more of this specifically because of blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so does that answer your question? Is that helpful?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Are there any other questions? I don't see any hands raised.
Just an FYI, not for nothing, but our new ADM is on the line. Khalid Nixon.
Oh,
He's in the attendees.
Hi, good evening. I'm not in a good position I'm in a UPS store right now, but it is a pleasure to meet you all, and I look forward to working with you all intently and moving forward with statement of needs and budget acquisitions as well. But it's a pleasure to meet you all.
awesome. Can't wait to officially meet you. So really quick, in regards to scheduling the district budget consultations, so you want us to have questions for you if we can't make it, right?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do to make it a bit easier is I'm going to send the invitation to the agencies, and then I'm going to follow up that email to each of you, to the respective committees and leadership with last year's questions, just to give you an idea of how we format them, and then you scratch, recommend, change, whatever. So we're not starting from scratch.
Yeah, and then I want to make myself available to any of you guys if you have any questions once Angel sends that out to you. I'm happy to be a soundboard in regards to that. And what I don't know, Angel knows, so you can always ask Angel. All right, so we can move on unless there's any other questions. I don't see any questions on my end. Angel, do you see questions?
There's a hand up, Beverly Pavon.
Beverly, go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you. I want to ask, when will the meetings with the agencies usually take place? Would that be in August or in September? What kind of time we have to meet and have any ideas regarding what committees we are on in order to get ready for these questions to be submitted to the agencies?
So the district consultations, the invitations are going to be for to try to schedule the meetings in the next couple of weeks. So next week, following week, maybe the week after. Your appointments, your new committee assignments will be happening probably after that. We're still waiting for a bunch of people to submit their requests, and then we have to give Xavier time to consider that. So ideally, first week of August, probably more likely the middle. It depends how quickly people respond.
Okay, my next question is, I know we have a lot of new members and welcome new members. And Khalid, I don't know if you have assigned or reassigned members to different committees yet. So how would that, when would that take place, so we know what committees we on in order to, have what kind of questions we're gonna have for the consultations with the
Beverly, that's what I was speaking to. Like we won't know the assignments for a few weeks yet.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, but you're welcome. Like any member, irrespective of what committee they're assigned to, is has the ability to reach out to any committee chair with any suggestion.
All right, thank you.
So like don't feel limited. Like if you, for example, aren't on human services, but you have something that you want Isaac to consider, then, go ahead and send it to him.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. I don't see any more hands up except for Beverly, but I think you did already, right? We're good. So moving on, we have to talk about hosting the community district needs town hall. This is usually done the last week of July. This is going to be held in person. Am I correct? Angel?
That's what you said last month that you wanted, yes.
The community district town hall, that has to be in person, no?
It doesn't have to be. You said you wanted it in person. And in this committee, you're the boss. So if you say left, it's left. That's the way it works. But you know, I love Zoom. So if you're asking my opinion. But if we're going to be in person, then we need to decide the sooner the better, because then we have to find spaces. So we want to do it kind of last minute. And we also need to get the word out to get people to show up, whether irrespective of whether it's in person or on Zoom or a mix.
So it has to be either or, can't be both.
It's easier if it's either or. The hybrid might pose an issue because we're not equipped to do it yet.
Understood. Okay, so I think, all right, I don't know how everyone else feels about this. I see some hands raised and I see some comments in the chat. I know that if this doesn't have to be in person, I think, and if I did say that, I don't know. I think maybe we should definitely do this in Zoom. I feel like there'll probably be a better participation. Like I feel like there will be more engagement. And if we do it through Zoom, we can also make it a weekend, right? There's nothing stopping us from doing it on a weekend, or are there regulations for that?
There are no regulations.
Yeah, so I think let's do it on a
There
weekend.
might be some hesitation, but no regulation.
Why? Because you don't want to work?
Because I don't want to work on the weekend. But it's not about me. It's about what you guys want.
Gotcha. Like I'm gonna throw it out to the group. I don't want this to be a dictatorship. I want it to be more democratic. How do you guys feel? Is the majority feeling like we should do this through Zoom? I feel like you guys are feeling that. I see Beverly, your hand's still up. I'm wondering if that's still from before, or you want to say something about this?
Yes, I was wondering, well, you just changed your mind regarding the meeting being in person, because I was gonna ask Angel in regards to if it, when we are able to meet again, how would you find out, or how would we help you find spaces? And do they always have to be in the Community Board 11 district?
So if you have ideas, I am all ears always. You can always email me or call me. And yes, they should be within our district.
Okay.
There'll be a riot if I schedule it somewhere else.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's no open spaces. There's no open spaces that we have that would be available to us.
Like outside?
Correct.
Maybe a garden or park or something.
Well, it depends on what the weather would be like for that, that day also. Because I know we have a lot of storefronts that are vacant, and they're not, pulling in any money. And I've seen a couple of large places, even like one on close to 125th Street between 5th and Madison. So used to be a supermarket. So I was just wondering, places like that, with storefronts that's big and they're not using that space for that time period. Maybe,
So
we'll
I
have
think
a permanent place
I
there.
think for storefronts, we would have to speak to the private owner of that. And I
Right,
think
right.
that
Of
would also be
course.
charged. Yeah. So I don't think that would be an avenue that we would
Oh,
want
okay.
to. We have a lot of community spaces that are provided to us in this community that we can use.
Oh, okay.
I was
Is that-
thinking like,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, I was thinking like maybe Union Settlement, the garden area.
Oh, yeah. That'd be cool.
Do we have a budget for this town hall?
We do not have a budget set for this town hall. It all depends on what you guys want. Then we can figure out whether we can make it happen. Budget one.
And the budget wouldn't include running out of space for that time? Because I know also if it's not the storefronts, a lot of businesses have picks up their spaces for events, you know, so I just want to know if there was any budget for those types of spaces within, you know, for the town hall, or we just have to use places that's going to give it to us free.
And ideally, we get spaces that are using it for free, and we don't have a set budget for hosting events. We would
Okay,
have to like kind of figure out if we have any room somewhere to move things around. But no, we do not have a budget for that.
okay, thank you.
Steph, I
think-
did want to just mention that it doesn't have to necessarily be by the end of July. We have the survey open until the 15th, so if you wanted to push into the first week or so, we can push it. That works. It's just, you know, people might disappear.
And the community district town hall meeting is the space to have people voice their opinions on what the district needs, right?
Yeah,
Not through a survey, it's an actual.
yeah.
Open.
Come and talk to us and tell us what you think.
So I see your hand up.
You called on me?
I'm sorry.
Did you call on me, Stephanie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't want to talk out of turn. I can ask to see if, I know that, the 25th precinct, they've done meetings, right by the mall. There's like a little space right next to, it's right on 116 and off of the highway. I'll ask to see if someone can get in contact, or we can get in contact with somebody to see. I know that they've done the neighborhood monthly meetings there before, and that's a pretty big space. And if you guys need me to bring some like waters or something like that, I get those cheap, so I don't mind, you know, donating waters and stuff like that. If there's no budget for it.
Well, can we, I don't know, are there any other hands up? Thank you, Giselle. Definitely will consider that. No more hands up. I thought I saw a hand. No?
Beverly and Eugene have their hands up.
Oh, Eugene and Beverly, please.
My question, one more question is regarding how big of a space are we looking, like how many people should it hold or possibly hold when we're looking for spaces?
I think 100 people is always
Okay,
a good number.
all right, thank you.
Mhm.
Eugene, did you want to speak?
How you doing, Stephanie? And how you doing, Angel? I have major concerns with two agencies, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to get my ideas across to them because I haven't been assigned to a committee yet. But I do want to speak with the Economic Development Corporation about what they're doing at the Julia de Burgos, and the Cultural Affairs Department on what they're doing at the Julia de Burgos also. There's nothing going on there. Both of those places are run by the city and nothing's happening in either one of them. So I would like to review the Economic Development Committee Corporation's contract with Hispanic Federation and what they are supposed to be doing at the Julia.
Thanks, Eugene. So on the budget request questions for that place, that falls under the purview of our Economic Development Committee, and Giselle's the rep for that. So you can always reach out to Giselle, even though you haven't been appointed to committees yet. But there's no restriction for you to. So you can speak with her on that. On the contract thing, I can send me an email and I'll follow up with EDC and try to get a copy of that.
Giselle, can you put us that number again?
Yeah, I put it in the chat, Eugene. That's my direct cell phone number. You can call me or text me.
You act like I know my way around Zoom, you know. I'm an old guy. You know, come on. Yeah, I got it. That's 917-776-0675.
Correct.
Okay, I'll give you a ring. Thank you very much.
All right, so I think I want to take a quick vote. Hands raised really quick, nothing official, but a really quick count. How many people would like to see this town hall in person? If you raise your hand, that's a yes. Angel, help me out here. How many yeses we have?
Oh, Eugene and Giselle have their hands up.
And Dawn, right?
Dawn? No, I didn't see Dawn's hand.
I did see Dawn.
Oh, she has a physical hand up. What is with you guys? How many years of Zoom do we have to do?
Yeah, can you guys use the participant hands raised so I can
Okay,
really make
so Dawn, Giselle, and Eugene.
Everyone tells me they can't see my hand when I
can see her.
oh,
I can see
okay.
it.
I guess you know, I guess we're gonna let's do Zoom then.
I can do either. I can do in person or on Zoom. Either
I
is
really
fine.
do.
for-
I think my idea is kind of the way you guys feel, like we should do in person. It's been a while, we haven't been around people, and I think that's what I was thinking last time. But then, you know, there's this now monkeypox and all this other stuff, and people want to go on vacation. So maybe Zoom is the best bet. And I did say, let's take account. So Angel, we're gonna do Zoom.
Okay. Let's if you want to pick a date now or pick a date by email, just let's settle on a date so we can start promoting it.
Let's I think it might be best to settle on a date through email. What do you think?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll get an email to the committee, and if you guys can like respond in the next couple of days, then we can start promoting and try to get the other board members to help us push it too. Last year we had, you know, a really good turnout. I thought it was a, you know, well attended and well participated event. So
And-
I'd love to at least to do that what we did last.
And we're thinking, if we're gonna do it, we're thinking the last week of July, first week of August, right?
Sure.
Because you want to get it done before the 15th.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I guess everybody keep that in mind, which is the week of the 25th and the week of the 1st, August 1st. Those 2 weeks we're looking at. No
Okay.
weekends, right?
So I'll get an email out to you all in the morning.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Cool.
Next.
That's all I have.
Now we're done?
That's it. There was something else, but I can't remember what it was. No matter.
All right.
Not on the agenda, don't matter.
Angel, are you gonna send something so we can share the town hall information on like our IG pages and stuff?
Yeah. So as soon as we settle on a day, we'll throw together some kind of flyer and then we'll start pushing it like nuts.
No, but the survey.
The survey's already in the newsletter.
Do we have do we have a QR code for the surveys that we can start posting?
Say that again?
We have a QR code for the surveys that we can start posting.
Yeah, it's in the newsletter.
Okay, so everything's in the newsletter, so we can repost that.
Are you subscribed to the newsletter, Stephanie?
Yes, sir. I'm making.
Oh, do you read the newsletter, Stephanie?
I'm representing the body. You know, I don't want one.
I think you just got busted, Stephanie. I think you just got busted.
There's some people who don't receive the newsletter.
Yeah. So like folks that aren't subscribed to the newsletter, please do. If you want to subscribe, you don't know how, send me an email at the office. I'll throw you on there. But yeah, we've had it for the last few weeks and there's a QR code in there.
Yeah, see?
Yep. We've had some people completing in the last couple of weeks. I'm not sure where they're getting it from, maybe from the newsletter. So it's slow and steady, but we're getting some. I think once we start pushing a bit harder. Oh, now I remembered what it was. We talked about, Stephanie, like seeing if members can attend other community events to help promote stuff. So I'm gonna share the list of community events. It was in the newsletter, but I'll share it again via email. So if there are any of these events that you'd be interested in tabling at or representing the board at, and you want materials, like we got a bunch of swag in the last couple of weeks. So I have the posters, I have the pamphlets, we have the survey. If you can do an hour at a place, you know, at a community garden, at any other community meetings that you want to push the survey at, like every little bit helps.
Don, you have your hand raised.
Dawn.
Yeah, I guess I'm also guilty because Puerto Rican Day Parade, like, I don't know if I realized that that was like something we could go as the community board. I don't remember, I don't think that was in the newsletter, but the earlier I know, the more I can do. So like if there's stuff, like even stuff into September or August, like I kind of need to like know it ahead of time. So I'm gonna look for what you're sending, because I was gonna ask you, like, how do I know ahead of time, oh, this event's coming up? Because if I get those 2 weeks notice, then for me, it's like easier to just
Yeah.
go ahead and work around it.
We have a couple of things going, and that's a good, like, kind of setting me up for this next part. So one, we have the community events calendar that's on the website all the time, right? Then we have the newsletter that goes out each Friday. So it's not super comprehensive, but we try to highlight some stuff as we get it. And then recently, since we had that big flood of street activity permit applications that came through licenses, we just created this list of all the like kind of block parties and street festivals and stuff like that that are happening. They came through the committee, so I'll shoot those out. But there's always the community events calendar on the website for most stuff. But you'll have a good ton of stuff.
Because I feel like I'd like to do at least one thing a week, but I kind of like need to think ahead. Like I just need to.
Sure. Yeah.
Jessica?
I can relate to that.
Hello. I just wanted to ask Angel if we got all the information and from the district needs surveys from the Earth Day celebration conference.
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Xavier? Xavier, go ahead.
Trying to get the
You're breaking up pretty bad, Xavier.
oh, Angel gets yeah, sorry, hold on a second, let me give me
There we go. Now it's better.
Is that better? Okay.
Yep.
So if
Yep.
we can get some printouts,
Yep.
so if you look at the calendar, all the community events, whether it's, say, for example, Johnson Day, Family Day, or any of the other, like Taft, they have their Family Day, show up and just say hi and howdy, bring 10 copies or however many, and just have people fill them out right there on the spot where they can get the QR code. If we can increase the amount of participation, and again, that would take probably what, Angel, would you say maybe 20 minutes being at an event to get that amount, 10
Yeah.
unique participants? Sure. So that's you could fly right by on your way to have a brunch or meet friends and, hang out with family. So it's just a greater way for us to increase our outreach and involvement in the community. And that's something we've been driving on for years, but I think this is now an opportunity as we slowly, trepidly emerge from COVID. But again, be safe as you do it, and that's it. So thank you.
Yeah, we can have printed copies here whenever you guys want. That's easy.
You can pick them up when you pick up your shirts.
There you go.
So yeah, just let Angel know if you guys are gonna volunteer for any of those days. And we'll make sure that we're all out there trying to let people know what's going on. And once we have a date, we can let you know about our town hall as well. Old business? Do we have any old business? Nope. Any new business?
Really is like, what newsletter? That's hilarious. We have a conversation tomorrow, Beverly.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, wait, what? How I missed that one? But I did send you an email. I did.
Yeah. I got you. I just wanted to be silly.
I do have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Beverly. Sorry.
I know last year we were using what was it? some type of form to do,
Google Forms.
yeah, are we gonna be using something like that this year also?
For the survey?
Yeah, for the survey and for the budget, like a tracking system.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay,
Mhm.
great. Okay,
Definitely reusing that, and hopefully we're gonna keep that as a requirement in this committee.
okay.
Roll call, unless there's anything else. I don't see any hand raised except for Beverly. I think we got you. Guys, I appreciate you so much because I know we're on break on everything else, but this is work. Roll call.
All right, thank you. All right, committee members, when I call your name, please answer present. Stephanie Arroyo,
Here.
Giselle,
Here.
Arturo Perez,
Here.
Jason Wu,
Here, sorry.
that's all right, thanks, Jason. Dawn,
Here.
you have four.
Awesome. See you guys. This meeting is adjourned. Good night.
All right. Good night,
See you
everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Now,
Okay, have a blessed